Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Gwei Refuel, where I recap the latest news in the Ethereum ecosystem. I'm your host, Anthony Sassano, and today is the 14th of January 2021. Alright, let's get into it everyone. So before we get into the news from the last 24 hours, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my friends over at Cryptocurrency Jobs. So I've worked with these guys for quite a while now. I have the jobs that they have on their site listed in the ETHUB newsletter, which is a weekly newsletter that I curate as part of ETHUB, and they also put out a newsletter, Cryptocurrency Jobs newsletter each week as well. So you can go sign up to this. I'll include the link in the YouTube description. And you know, the website that they've got here, actually if I go here I can go to it and show you, cryptocurrencyjobs.co. You'll be able to see kind of like a bunch of different jobs here. You'll be able to look for jobs in different areas such as engineering, developing, business development, marketing, community, whatever you want basically. So yeah, I highly recommend going and checking this out if you're looking for a job in crypto. I mean, I think a lot of people are at this point. I've heard that the job market for crypto right now is extremely hot. So definitely the place I would go if I was looking for a job. So go check that out, and you can sign up to the newsletter so that you can stay up to date as well with any new jobs coming out. All right, there's this meme today. I just wanted to give a quick shout out here to Ethereum Memes, an account that I've followed for quite a while. It's probably one of my favorite accounts on Twitter. And they put out. I mean, they first started this thread with like a link to a bunch of clips from one of the refuels I did recently. And rewatching these clips actually got me really bullish on ETH, listening to myself talk about it. So they were pretty good clips. So shout out to them for sharing this. But I just really loved this meme that they've got here, right? Of like ETH 10K, which has been my ETH price prediction for a while. And like the hat on this kind of guy's face here. I just thought that was really funny. I wanted to give a shout out there. But yeah, go follow this account. It's great. There are so many memes on here. I love them all. They're always posting stuff like, ETH will outperform BTC, change my mind, retweeting other people's memes. There's just, I mean, I love this one the other day. You can watch it here. It's hilarious, right? So definitely go give them a follow. I just wanted to give a quick shout out there. So Cream Finance, just a couple of hours ago, announced that this thing called the Iron Bank, which they kind of like are saying that it's going to be a zero collateral protocol-to-protocol lending platform and liquidity backstop for the entire DeFi ecosystem. They're first going to be working with AlphaHemorrhoid or Alpha Finance with their AlphaHemorrhoid product. As a launch partner, along with Yearn or Yearn. Now, for those who maybe don't remember, Cream is actually part of the Yearn or Yearn family. They were kind of, I wouldn't say acquired, but like they partnered up with them a few weeks ago. And kind of this is, I think, one of the first major releases of that partnership. And AlphaHemorrhoid or Alpha Finance put together this thread here that basically explains what this is. There's a lot of kind of things going on here. The core of it is the zero collateral protocol-to-protocol lending that's going on. So obviously, anyone who's kind of taken out a loan in DeFi or used their kind of ETH as collateral or whatever to borrow stablecoins against, that you have to over-collateralize, right? On Maker, it's 150% for ETH, so you can only borrow, you can't borrow much on that kind of ETH. You need to put up a lot of collateral to borrow a lot and have a safe liquidation price and all that. Whereas we're used to loans in kind of like the real world being, zero collateral, right? You go to a bank, you get a loan and there's like no collateral there. The collateral, I guess, is your reputation, right? And you as a person, your identity is your collateral because you can be chased if you don't pay the loan back, right? Whereas obviously on DeFi, you can be anonymous, there's no KYC. They can't chase you for it if you run away with the money. So there's been a few attempts at this kind of like zero collateral thing. Aave also has their kind of thing that they're building where you can delegate your trust to different people and do like under collateralized lending like that. And Cream's basically doing it in a protocol to protocol way. So, if they trust another protocol, they will allow them to do this kind of zero collateral thing, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, I suggest going and reading the full post to get the full details here. I actually really like the way they've kind of like structured this in terms of the branding around it. The Iron Bank is from Game of Thrones, for those who haven't watched that yet. But yeah, I thought that was really cool, and they've got like all these graphics here. I mean, I like seeing this stuff. Like maybe just this is an aside, but I really like seeing high fantasy kind of like art coming into DeFi and being used as like marketing materials. I think it's really cool. I mean, I might be biased because I'm a very big fan of kind of like fantasy and high fantasy. I played a lot of World of Warcraft as a teenager, so yeah, I'm a bit biased there. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes with Cream. Cream has had a rocky past as well, I think. That they had a few issues with their system where the governance wasn't doing its job correctly. They were having tokens on there that maybe shouldn't have been on there. For those who remember the FTX kind of token drama, the FTT token on there, I won't go into it now, but it seems that they are improving, and they have these kind of collaborations going on, which should bring more kind of liquidity and use to their protocol. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how that evolves there. So Loopery put out this video today of their layer 2 AMM on Twitter. Now, they do this a lot. I actually think Loopering's marketing game is probably one of the best I've seen in DeFi. They clearly market the use case of their product, right? And exactly why you want to use it. So obviously you want to use a layer 2 AMM to save on gas fees, right? It's faster, it's way cheaper, and it's built on like an innovative layer 2 using ZK rollups. Now, just before, I mean, I've used this before and I've experienced it, and it's frankly amazing. I think that people are really still sleeping on layer 2 Ethereum. I've said it every single time, but they have no idea what they're missing. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because, one, you should go try this out right now at exchange.loopering.io. Like, literally just pause this video, or if you're listening, pause the podcast, go there and try it out, because it's going to change your way of thinking. And if you've tried it out already, well, then just ignore that and, go on your merry way. But for me, I mean, I did a trade just a couple of hours ago on there, and I was still just blown away. I just love the flow that they've built. You can transfer your assets over to the layer 2 system very quickly, and then once they're in there, once you're onboarded, that's it, right? No gas fees, nothing like that. You basically have like a really small fee, like I think 2 cents. There's liquidity, right? You can do these ultra fast trades. I mean, it feels like I've just like gone Super Saiyan, for those of you who have watched Dragon Ball Z. I've just got like this massive power up, right? On Ethereum mainnet, on layer 1, maybe I'm just like, I'm pretty strong, right? I can do all these DeFi things, but then I go to layer 2 and I get these, all of a sudden I get these powers, right? And it really does feel like that. So, I mean, maybe that's a little bit out there, but definitely if you haven't tried this out yet, go try it out, because you'll know exactly what I mean. So Kane from Synthetix put out a kind of roadmap post today for their optimistic Ethereum implementation of Synthetix. So I've discussed how this is going live in the next couple days, but it's actually going to be a phased rollout. So in this post, Kane goes through all the different phases, what's going to be happening at each phase, what you can do, what you can't do, all this good stuff. So there's actually, I think, 4 or 5 phases. With phase 0, it's going to be very limited. It's going to be a one-way SNX bridge from layer 1 to layer 2, including your escrowed SNX if you are staking. The SNX and SUSD will be non-transferable. You can mint non-fungible SUSD on there, and you can claim SNX as well on there. So yeah, I mean, pretty limited, but still you can do a lot of this stuff here. And then phase 1 comes later, where you can where the exchange functionality comes in, and you can exchange SUSD for other synths. Chainlink's going to be supported. So I mentioned how Chainlink's actually going to be going on optimistic Ethereum as well. And then the transfers will be enabled for SNX and synths. So it says here the transition to phase 1 will likely take 4 to 6 weeks. Now, I don't know if, I mean, the wording's a bit funny here. I don't know if that means 4 to 6 weeks after phase 0 goes live. It might, because, that's how I'm interpreting it. But maybe it means that when the time comes, it'll take 4 to 6 weeks to complete this transition. So I'm not sure there. But yeah, basically there's that. Then there's phase 2, which is going to be a two-way SNX bridge from L1 to L2, which is going to be huge, right? I think a lot of people are still thinking, what's going to happen with the composability and all this sort of stuff with layer 1, and I think we're going to get an answer there. Phase 3 brings with it a host of features, that they're working on as part of V3 of the protocol. And then phase 4, so yeah, there is 4 phases. Actually, wait, no, 1. Yeah, sorry. There is 5 phases. Phase 0 counts as the first phase. It's, yeah, I always get confused when I look at that. But anyway, phase 4, minting on layer 1 is actually deprecated. And there's going to be a fee pool bridge and position liquidation. So yeah, that's when they kind of have like the fully layer 2 system in place. I'm not sure how long this is going to take. I assume it's going to take a few months, and maybe it takes towards the end of the year to get this all out there, but it's going to happen. And, you know, Synthetix doing it, making the leap, Uniswap making the leap, you know, I mean, Loopering's already on there, as I just showed you. It's going to lead to this snowball effect where we're going to have this layer 2 thing. And by 2022, I think we're going to have a very, very nice and bustling kind of ecosystem on layer 2 with all these DeFi apps and maybe even other apps on there. So yeah, really, really looking forward to that. Super bullish on that. I mean, I've spoken about it so much lately, but definitely something to keep an eye on. So the Ethereum Name Servers put out this really exciting update today that they have partnered with Cloudflare, which for those who don't know, Cloudflare is basically a I mean, how do I describe it for audiences that don't really work with web infrastructure? They offer a bunch of services. You might have seen them pop up on different sites where it says, you know, Cloudflare is verifying you, wait a few seconds. That's their DOS protection service, which is their denial of service protection. You've probably heard of denial of service attacks before and things like that. So they offer infrastructure for that. They also offer web hosting infrastructure and all this sort of stuff and DNS names and stuff. They're basically, I guess, offer infrastructure for the internet, essentially. So they're, I guess, one of the most popular or the most popular outside of maybe AWS from Amazon for all this sort of stuff. But yeah, they're huge. And what the Ethereum Name Service or ENS announced today is that they're partnering with them to basically do a bunch of different things. So what they're going to do, what they have been doing is they've worked with Cloudflare over the last year to help them develop their own new ENS plus IPFS gateway service. And apparently on January 18th, in the next, 4 or 5 days, the Ethereum Name Service will point our DNS domain eth.link at their new service. And they claim this will not only provide better uptime and scalability, but all sites accessed through the service will now have HTTPS, which means better security. And yeah, basically, this is a bunch of different things here they're talking about and how this is going to improve things. But you can go read the blog post, obviously, for the full details here. But I think this is really cool, right? This is the Web 3 world merging with the Web 2 world, because I would consider Cloudflare the Web 2 world, right? And ENS is Web 3, built on Ethereum, all this good stuff. So I'm loving this kind of merging here and these partnerships that are coming. And, you know, it's funny because whenever you see like partnerships, quote unquote, like this going on in crypto, it's usually used to like pump a token or something like that. But ENS doesn't have a token. So, you know, you can trust that this is not one of those. But yeah, this is really exciting. And I hope to see more of this kind of like Web 2, Web 3 gelling going on. You know, we might see more of it simply because of all the deplatforming that's going on, right? You know, I think decentralized web services are going to become more popular as time goes on, especially when people figure out that you can actually build a chat app that can't be censored. It can be removed from like the App Store, right, and everything, whatever, but you can still access it from a web browser, and you can do so using like a .eth domain, right, on IPFS and things like that. So yeah, I think as more people wake up to this, we'll have some sort of migration going on. But that's a whole nother conversation that I won't get into today. But yeah, just something to think about, I think. So Foundation is, I guess, like a digital art platform where you can collect different NFTs, or one of the many out there right now. But basically what they launched today or yesterday was Foundation V2. So they've got a bunch of different features here. As I was just saying, IPFS is getting more popular lately for like decentralized web. So apparently they've IPFS'd all the things, which I assume means that like you can access their website and all the different kind of art you can buy on there or NFTs through IPFS links, which is really cool. They have this thing called Coldie method auctions with TM. I don't know if that's TM ironically, or if it's actually a trademarked kind of thing. But yeah, there's no more details here. So I'm assuming it's like something that they've invented, which could be cool. And then they've also said here they've got they've enabled buying and selling in ETH. And I actually had one of the team members DM me, and we were kind of joking because I was like, I can't tweet right now, so I can't say that ETH is money to pump up the fact that you guys have buying and selling in ETH, and we had a bit of a laugh about that. But that's really cool to see. They actually told me that ETH was requested by basically everyone because they have DAI on there. Obviously, a stable coin works really well, but a lot of people requested ETH. So it seems ETH, and this isn't just on Foundation, this is also on a bunch of different NFT platforms. ETH is being used as money on there. And I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, depending if you're paying attention to NFTs or not, but it's being used in large volumes as money. And it's kind of like, when you think about it, it seems counterintuitive. It's like, why aren't people just using dollars, right? And I think because people want ETH, right? They want to stack ETH, and I think in some way it's tax advantage depending on how you do it as well. But in general, if I'm selling something and I'm just going to put that money into ETH anyway, just send me ETH, right? So, ETH is money. I mean, for the NFT economy, it definitely is. And I've seen people use it. I mean, you have OpenSea and Rarible and all these other platforms that NFT platforms that let you buy and sell with ETH. So I think people are just used to it at this point. In the NFT arena, they price things in ETH. So ETH is becoming this unit of account as well I guess it already was, but it's like getting even more popular now, and it's still this medium of exchange. So yeah, ETH is money, and for anyone who says it's not money, go to the NFT space, you'll see that. So that was really cool to see. So yeah, congrats to Foundation on their V2 launch here. I'm interested to learn more about this Coldie method they're talking about. Maybe there is something about it somewhere, but yeah, for now I'm not sure exactly what that is, but yeah, I'll keep my eye on it. So the drama with, I guess, Uniswap continued today. I mean, I spoke about this a bit yesterday, but I don't want to focus on the drama. I mean, there was a thread here, and you can go see it. I'll link it in the YouTube description. What I did want to focus on is Hayden's tweet here, which I thought was really, really, really cool and notable. So he says, and I quote, "It's worth noting that our team has shown more commitment to open source software than any other in the space. We open sourced," and there's a whole list of things here. I'm not going to read them all out, but basically he's saying that the Uniswap team has developed and open sourced a bunch of different things that the kind of community can use for free, right, at large. They've given like a lot back, and they have. You can see here, I mean, they open sourced the protocol, right, the Uniswap protocol, which is the only reason why SushiSwap exists. It couldn't have existed without Uniswap, right, because it didn't have anything to fork. So yeah, that exists. They have, their different interfaces that they've open sourced here. The swapping, LP, and governance interfaces. They have their kind of token lists that they've done, which is an innovative feature, and Sybil.org, which is kind of a governance thing that they've got going on as well. And there's a bunch of other things in there. So yeah, I mean, I wrote about this in kind of the Daily Gwei today about open sourced software and funding it, and how within crypto, we're actually funding open source software sustainably for the first time kind of ever. For those who don't know, traditionally open source software was basically either most of the time it was developed as a passion project by people or for fun. And then what ended up happening was that some of these kind of things, or a lot of them, got very popular because the code and the use case and kind of like the things you could do with them were so popular that it just ended up being used in like massive applications. So what ended up happening is that some internet companies, or some companies like Apple and Google and Facebook, fund open source teams, but at the end of the day, a lot of them, monetize off of closed source software. So they don't really have a motivation to fund these open source things. Whereas in crypto, where like everything's open source, right? And it's pretty easy to monetize it compared to your traditional counterparts, because you can issue a token, right? That's like the easiest way to monetize it. You have a platform that people use, right? You generate fees, you issue a token can do governance, capture fees, anything else you want it to do. And then the team retains the token, or they have a treasury, and then they can fund their open source work like that. On top of that, we have Gitcoin, which is an amazing platform, right? We see the Gitcoin grants rounds, every round being bigger than the last so far. And that's funded by speculation as well. That's funded by, prices going up, because every time we have like a kind of a bull market and prices go up more and people get more money, they will offer up more money to donate. They will kind of like, the matching partners will match with more amounts, and we'll get like higher commitments from people. So mean, that's huge, and that's all funding open source things, like not just software, but also kind of like media. Like that goes towards funding things like, the Daily Gwei here, where I do everything for free and I don't do any sponsorships, but I can still, make some money from it through grants. If people want to donate to me, they can, and those donations are matched by other people in the ecosystem. Or other kind of partners in the ecosystem that sign up to the matching. So yeah, I thought that was really cool to call out here. And it's like, I guess it's like a kind of like new age for open source software that not a lot of people are paying attention to, I think. Outside of crypto. I think they're missing the forest for the trees. They see all the speculation, they see all the ridiculousness of the prices, right? And the bull and bear cycles, and they just think it's useless. But if you really dig in, there's so much value being created here for various different people, and tons of people now get to work on what they love, creating free software for the world, and still be able to monetize it. That's a game changer right there, and I'm really, really excited about that. And one of the main things I think that is great about the crypto space, outside of just like, I guess, DeFi, NFTs, like this touches everything, right? Absolutely everything we do. So yeah, really, really cool to see that, and I'm glad Hayden put out this tweet. I thought it was really great. So Notional launched today. So they have basically, what Notional is the fixed rate lending and borrowing platform on Ethereum. So they launched today with over $3 million in liquidity, and you can borrow USDC or DAI fixed at a fixed rate at less than 5% today on their website right now. So, I mean, this is going to be a lot more common going forward. I mean, I was just talking about how zero collateral loans are going to be coming in a big way because we need them. In the same way, we need more fixed rate loans, because I'm not sure if people have seen, but loans on like Aave and Compound, and the rates on there, if you're borrowing kind of a stable coin, and there's like a new kind of like Ponzi farm or something that spins up, and then people come in and flood in and kind of like borrow this stable coin as well, the rate goes way up because the liquidity dries up, and the rate goes up so that it encourages people to pay back their loans. But if you're just borrowing because you wanted to put your stable coins into some low yielding safe kind of thing that's yielding you like 10%, and then the yield kind of the borrow rate spikes to like 30-40% or something like that, and you don't even notice because you're not monitoring it, then that's not fun, right? Obviously, it doesn't stay at 30-40% for very long, but it can stay quite high, like in the high, single digits, maybe sometimes in the double digits, and you just don't know unless you're paying like close attention to it. So I think fixed rate lending on Ethereum within DeFi is going to be very important going forward, especially if you can fix at less than 5% on stablecoins. That's great. I mean, like, you can also think of it if you're paying 5% a year, right, at a fixed rate, and you're getting, say you're getting like 15% in some yield farm on your stablecoins, then you net out to 10%. Now, obviously, the yield in those stablecoin farms is going to fluctuate as well. So if it goes down, I guess you want to make sure that even if it goes down to like 10%, you still net out 5%, and that your kind of like rate that you're paying on your borrow isn't like getting too close to the amount that you're making, or kind of like, I guess, being more than the amount you're making. So yeah, I think this is going to be really, really important here. So go check out Notional here. I actually follow them. I haven't followed them yet, but yeah, I think this is going to be big going forward, and I'm not sure about how they're doing it under the hood. I haven't actually looked into that yet. But I actually think they've got backing from a few great teams like Parify Capital here, Nascent, One Confirmation. I mean, these are all really great kind of teams and funds within the DeFi space. So definitely not an amateur project here. Definitely something that's being developed in a professional way. So definitely go check it out. Another thing that came out, related, I guess, thing is from Yield Protocol. So what they launched today is fixed rate loans for MakerDAO users. So MakerDAO borrowers can now easily lock in a fixed rate with one click using Yield's new rate lock tool. And you can do this through the Yield Protocol here and read the details here. So, I mean, as I was just saying, fixed rate lending is coming in a big way. I'm not sure what Notional is using in the background here, but Yield Protocol is specifically using MakerDAO and letting you lock in a rate here, which is actually really appealing because at the moment I think the rate on like an ETH generation of DAI is 2%. and that can move up really quickly if the DAI peg gets ahead of itself. So we saw this actually happen. Can't remember when it was. I think maybe 2019, maybe it was 2020. It was probably 2019, where the rate went from basically, I think, 0% or something like that to like 20% within a short period of time. And obviously that's not ideal, right? So I think this is great for locking in if you want to lock in the 2% that's on ETH right now, even if it goes down, it's not that big of a deal. You're protecting yourself against it going up really quickly, and it can. So yeah, really, really interesting to see this focused on MakerDAO, especially because I think 2% on DAI, to borrow DAI right now with ETH, I think that's the lowest you can get anywhere. I'm pretty sure it's more expensive to borrow DAI or stablecoins on Aave and Compound right now. So that kind of borrow rate might not last forever because there's probably a lot of demand for that. So there might be some kind of depegging on DAI, which means they'll have to raise the stability fee or the lending rate here, or I guess like the rate, not really a lending rate, but the rate here. So yeah, this is something. If you have an open position, then check it out for sure. I think it's really cool. So Gnosis put out a tweet today saying that they have, in the Gnosis Safe product, they have 1% of the entire ETH supply stored in there. Now, for those who don't know, Gnosis Safe is basically the most advanced, or one of the most advanced kind of wallets on Ethereum, or wallet apps on Ethereum. So it's a smart contract wallet that's you can do multi-sig with. I'm pretty sure it's like one of the only multi-sigs on Ethereum, and it's the only one that I would trust, that's for sure. It's been formally verified, completely audited, it's been around for a while. Gnosis is really great. They know what they're doing. So yeah, 1% of the entire ETH supply in there is a vote of confidence for sure. That's a lot of ETH, right? I think that's, I guess, like you could say maybe 1.2 million ETH or something like that, which would mean that it's $1 billion or something, over $1 billion in there. So that's a massive vote of confidence. And if you haven't checked out Gnosis Safe yet, do so. It's really great as a multi-sig wallet. You can set that up and have like a bunch of different signers, and then they've also got different app integrations on there as well. So they call them safe apps, and you can do like 1-inch trades. You can do like Compound and MakerDAO stuff. They have a bunch of different apps coming. So definitely go check that out if you're in the market for a new wallet. All right, so the last thing I wanted to talk about today was based on a tweet from Eric Connor here. And I spoke about this just before about, funding open source software through this kind of speculation. And, Eric puts it well here, and I'll read out the tweet. So begin quote, "I've seen a lot of price talk is annoying tweets during this bull run. Just stop. At the bottom of the market, we were literally asking ourselves if we can fund Ethereum development enough to survive. Trust me, this is better. More funding, more jobs, more dev, more everything." I totally agree with this. As someone who does a lot of price tweets, I kind of get these comments all the time. And obviously, I'm really excited that the prices are going up and everything like that. I hold ETH, right? That's obvious. But at the same time, if you look past that and you look past the kind of like forest here, the trees here, and kind of like see the forest. The forest is the fact that the higher the ETH price goes, or the higher the prices of these tokens goes, the more money that comes into the ecosystem, the more development funds we have. So, and the more jobs there's going to be, as I was saying at the start, I'm seeing that a lot of jobs are opening up now, and that's funded by this speculation. That's funded by new funds coming in and being like, oh wow, there actually is money here. There's money to be made, and they invest in companies, right? They buy tokens. They do all this sort of stuff. They buy ETH, So yeah, I always get kind of annoyed when people say that the price talk is annoying, because it's like you wouldn't be able to, I guess, be and work in this industry if it wasn't for the prices going up. Like, that's just the honest truth. And that's not to say that these people can't be annoyed by this sort of stuff, like seeing it every day. But that's just the way it is, right? This is what a lot of people are in the ecosystem for, and that's not wrong, or it's not wrong or right or whatever. It just is. Like, I personally don't think it's wrong. I think that it's very healthy. Obviously, there's a lot of scams that go on and everything. I'm not condoning those things, but people coming to the ecosystem and speculating is what drives a lot of it. Just as a concrete example here, the Ethereum Foundation currently has 450,000 ETH, I think, which at time of recording is worth about $540 million. Now, the way I like to explain this to people is they have 440,000 ETH. So every time the ETH price goes up by just $1, they have $440,000 more to spend on Ethereum development. Now, that's a lot of money, right? That's almost $500,000. And if you're hiring, you could hire 2 or 3 senior kind of protocol researchers for that, I think. I'm not sure the exact rate for protocol researchers. Maybe it's only 2. Sorry, excuse me. But that's still a large amount, right? That's 2 high level like protocol engineers that you can fund just because ETH went up $1. Now, ETH goes up and down $1 like every minute, basically. So, ETH goes up $100, you just times that by 100, right? That's just a lot of money. So, if ETH goes up, and then on the opposite side of things, when ETH was at $100, right, the amount of kind of value that the Ethereum Foundation had in that wallet was like 1/10 of what it is now. So, that was like nothing. It was like $55 million, right? So you can see how this kind of fluctuations in price and the fact that the price going up is incredibly bullish, because it lets these kind of teams, not just the Ethereum Foundation, but any team with a treasury, fund more stuff, right? It gets more stuff done. So, if you're one of those people that maybe get annoyed by all of the price talk, just think of like the benefits of it. That's kind of like what I like to think about, is that all this stuff's being funded through the speculation, and it's healthy. It's healthy speculation. It's what we need to get this stuff off the ground. And to be frank, a lot of new people come into this ecosystem just because of that, right? This is how we get them to use these products and to kind of like become maybe builders within this ecosystem through that initial speculation. I mean, I'm not sure how all of you listening or watching got into crypto, but for me, I got into crypto first and foremost as a speculation vehicle. I learned about Bitcoin back in 2013, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then I bought a lot because it was going up, right? And then it went up more, and I bought more, and all this sort of stuff. And then same with Ethereum when I discovered it in early 2017. Same kind of thing. The thing that attracted me to it the most was the price speculation, was the price going up. And then after that, obviously, I stayed in the ecosystem, have done a bunch of different things, and I'm sure a lot of you have too. But yeah, if your first kind of like exposure to the ecosystem was based on the prices going up, then you're in the same boat, I think. But maybe some people came in through other ways, and that's fine. But yeah, I just in general, I think that it's good to keep in mind that numbers going up, people making money, you see noise and stuff. It's not all bad things. The money gets reinvested as well in the ecosystem. As I just said, the Gitcoin grants rounds are the biggest they've ever been. That's because people have more money to put up as donations or as matching funds. So yeah, I don't see any negatives here, really. I mean, the one negative, I guess, is the fact that it can be annoying. If you're seeing the same tweets all day, every day, and I'm guilty of putting out a lot of these tweets myself, but I mean, you can always just mute the person, I guess, but, that doesn't really solve anything. I guess just in general, that's just the way it is in the industry. I don't see it changing anytime soon, right? Especially in a bull market. There's just no way. But yeah, it is what it is. But just look past the kind of trees and see the forest, and I think, you'll feel better. But yeah, I guess that's all I had to say on that one. All right, that's it for today's episode, everyone. Thank you for watching or listening. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Daily Gwei newsletter and join the Discord. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.